Hello everyone, Argsy here. Welcome back to the rolling hills of Palouse, Washington, and to the bigger of our two farms. We are straight into another busy day of harvesting and harvest work. We've got the swathers in here on the left getting some more flax cut, ready to be picked up. And we've started picking up in this field here on the right. We've got two pickup headers, two combines, and they're running around getting all of that flax picked up to be put into the grain silos. And the other two combines, which have been running on wheat, they are down in the front and doing another wheat field down there, and they need a truck. Their grain cart is going to be full very soon because they are filling up very quick. We've had to go down, or had to go around and fill up all the combines with diesel. They're all getting pretty low, which has been a bit laborious. We've only got a very small diesel tank here on the back of this truck, and it's not enough to service 4 combines, so we probably have to look at getting a fuel trailer or something like that at some stage. Now, before you say anything, yes, we do have a new silo there. That is a lime silo, and we'll get to that in just a little bit. We are going to try and get some lime spreading going today, but there we go, we've got another combine with a full grain tank. So we need to get this truck down, get them all unloaded, and get things up and moving. So we'll take a look when we get down there. I'm going to try and set this up on some auto drive and get the grain cart working on some auto drive so we can largely leave those guys all working on their own, and we can spend a little bit more time focused on trying to get some lime applied to the fields and some tillage maybe started. I don't know. I've only got the magnums in there to do that with, so we'll have to see whether they've got the horsepower to handle that or whether we have to wait until we've got the Steiger and Quadtrack freed up. But anyhow, let's get this truck on down. We've got the other one in there for the flax, and we'll get things going because the wheat is the higher yielding crop. The flax isn't actually yielding that high, which is kind of a bit of a blessing. It means we don't have quite so much pressure on us to keep those combines unloaded and moving, but certainly it'd be good to get this wheat done down here and get these guys on the way. So let's head on down. We'll probably have to look at turning traffic off. Auto drive, as clever as it is, doesn't like having traffic, particularly when you come out onto roads and things like that. So we'll have to have a look at that. Anyhow, here's the field. There's where they've started. Can't quite see them because I think they're full up on the other side. Oh, that was a loud squeak. And we need to get the grain cart moving. So let's go and get this all sorted out. So as I said, I do want to try and get some auto drive up and running here for the truck. We do have the auto drive course in here. This course is from the auto drive guy. You can find his course on his YouTube channel. You can download it from there. But I want to expand on it. Some things he does which I don't quite like wouldn't be how I'd do it, and it doesn't quite work when you get here to the fields. But you know, to have all of this all set up and configured is pretty impressive, and it does save a lot of time. First things first, I want to be able to get a loop in here for the truck to be able to turn in and out of. The grain cart's parked about where I want it to unload, so that'll be a good reference point for us to get this truck in here. So let's just start recording a little bit of a course. We're going to put that one there. If we just connect those two, that'll be our way into the field. We'll just slowly and carefully drive in and down here and position the truck in a way we can get it turned around. There we go. Turn around in here. I want to try and get it pretty straight next to where that grain cart is. Just come along here. Be a bit of an overlap with this course, which I'm fingers crossed isn't going to cause a problem, but quite possibly could. And I think if we just get one more trigger point, there we go. That can become our truck waypoint in this field, which I think is field 9 from memory. Field 9 around the corner there. So we'll just name this field 09 truck wait. Should work out just fine. Now we'll carry this course on and out just to reconnect to where we were to get them heading back out on the field. So let's turn that around there, and it just basically needs to connect back at exactly the same spot we just were. We can probably go one further from that. I'm hoping that's the right one. Might not have been. Let's just turn the record option off. No, that wasn't the one we wanted. That's it there. So we just want to connect that back to there. We should now have a pretty good way in and out of the field. In fact, I think we've just got and broken that because that needs to be a two-way course there, so we'll better fix that one. Or, in fact, yeah, we better fix that. I'm not sure how we do that. There we go, that's fixed. So, with that all up and done, what we're going to try and do is set this up to field 9 truck weight, dump at the silo, what it's already selected as, and we're taking wheat. We should be able to turn that on, and the truck was going to do a full U-turn. I thought it might have tried to run down. In fact, it's going to completely jackknife itself. That's alright. I thought it might have run down all the way to the all the way down to the silo, and that would have given us a chance here to deal with the grain cart, but that's alright. We'll get the truck in position and then we can record the course for the grain cart. So with the truck parked there at its waypoint, let's try and record this course for the tractor. Now I've moved it over a little bit just to try and avoid any collisions with the truck, but we are going to get quite congested. It's down here. A little bit of a spaghetti junction going on, but I think if we just slowly this around and hopefully able to line up where we want it to. And the reason I'm doing it this way is it's best, obviously plenty of times to try and have the truck and the grain cart in opposite directions, so then if one's waiting at their waypoint, the other will pick it up on the way past. So that there, let's go along and set our field 09 grain cart waypoint, grain cart unload. Go and carry this on a little bit now. I'm going to try and find the end of the course again, and we'll create a grain cart waypoint at that. There we go. We've managed to probably just about get it to work. Pretty unfortunate to have those collide, but Murphy's Law dictate that they will. There we go, we've gone a little bit too far, but we can fix that up. We'll delete that last point there and connect those two there together. Stop our recording and then create this here as field 09 grain cart wait. And that should be everything set up for our course. Now, change this over to our combine mode. Go to all of those settings, grain cart wait, grain cart unload, and press go. It's going to tell us there's no harvester, but we will go and fix that right now. Get those combines, telling the grain cart that it needs to go over and unload them. So we've just joined the combines over here. We've set them both up on the field 9 grain cart weight. Lead combine's full, so as you'll see it's just gone through and cut in. We'll hopefully now be calling the grain cart. Now if we just pan out, we can see the grain cart right over there on the edge of the field. Wait a second, hopefully it's going to figure itself out and head on over this way. In fact, it looks like it's just started rolling now. It's changed angles. We'll ignore the fact it looks like it's going to cut straight across the field to get here. It's one of those vagaries when it's a little bit harder for the pathfinding, but there we go. That is set up and ready to go, so we can fire up the other one. They're going again on some course play. Should wait here in behind while we're waiting for this one to unload, but nearest waypoint right, and we'll press go on that. And it is going to have a little bit of a hissy fit as it waits that combine in front of us. I'm going to pause, hope it does. There we go. It's going to stop right behind until that combine's emptied. So we'll leave these guys to carry on and get things unloaded. Grain cart's just about here, and that should be us all up and running. So we'll let them do their thing. We'll go over and check on the other grain cart and the combines that are picking up the flax. So we've just jumped in the grain cart here that is running for the flax. It's got 30,000 litres of flax in it, which is great. It does mean it's been over and unloaded the two combines once. Now this is running on course play, so we've got a little bit of a hybrid going today. We've got course play on this field. Reason I've done that, one is it's a little bit lower key. There's not as much pressure on this cart to go and keep everything unloaded, so I think that's going to work out pretty well. Two, I don't mind if it does run over the crop, because obviously being swathed, ideally you wouldn't run over it, because that would probably shake a lot of the seed out of the swath as you run over it, and you end up leaving crop on the ground. But for this instance, I'm not too worried about it. I suppose it doesn't matter either way, but things are looking good here. We'll just jump over into one of the combines and see how they're progressing with picking up the crop. And there you go, happy days. They are doing a pretty good looking job by the looks of things. Got the one down the end there, just finished a pass. Going to go and line up on another one. And well, they're just doing what they're doing. So we should get through this pretty easily. And once they're done, we'll be moving them over into the other field over there on the other side of the yard. And well, you can see the swathers up right in the distance. So they're working their way through that field as well. So yeah, these guys shouldn't have too many problems. Should just keep on soldiering on and getting things done, which is fantastic. And so the last piece of the puzzle here with the flax field is to try and set this truck up a little bit on some auto drive. Now, The course or the field entrance for this field is actually right up in the top corner, but it seems a little bit silly to me to not make use of this grass verge and just hop across that and jump into the field. Really no reason to run all the way up the edge. So I think while we've got it parked here, we might set ourselves up again on a course to get them in and out of the field and get this delivered to the grain cart, to the grain silo. So just record ourselves a little bit of a track while we're here. Just make sure we're a little bit away from that one. We don't have to be right on the edge of the field this time because everything's already gone. So we can just park about there. Record this. We're doing a little bit backwards, but we'll sort things out and get them up and going. And so there we go, we've got a truck weight set up. I cheated a little bit in that we've just come in off the edge of the track up the top, going straight along the edge of the field, put a waypoint in, and then it turns out and heads on back down this way. So it should work. Well, it will work, I know that. No reason to think it wouldn't otherwise, but just see just about here, see where the course enters in. So should make it nice and easy. Now one thing I have noticed when using the courseplay option with this twin hopper trailer is that courseplay doesn't actually like trying to empty into the twin hoppers. It seems to empty into the front hopper but completely skip back one. So hopefully we'll see. If we have to turn and set up an auto drive course just to make it work better, then we'll take a look and consider doing that. But let's leave them to run. Fingers crossed everything's going to work out how we want it to, and we don't have to intervene too much with the harvesting, because I'd like to go and get started on some lime spreading, which will take us onto why we have gone and placed down a new lime silo. So let's go and jump over by the other silos over in the corner, and I will explain a little bit further. We've got one of the lime spreaders over here full of lime, and I've manually had to fill that up. You can see we've got a course which circles in here. We've got a trigger called lime silo, got the auger and everything set up to drag some lime out of the silo and fill it into the spreader. Now the problem being doing it this way, because this auger is actually a manual one in that I have to hop into it, I have to press R to fill, to drag the lime out of the silo and put it up in the conveyor. Auto drive, to the best of my knowledge, doesn't have the ability to tell a trigger like this start loading. It has to use something like a buy point or a buy silo or something like that to be able to fill up. So we haven't actually been able to get this to work quite how I hoped it would, which is a little bit disappointing. It'd work perfectly if you were doing this manually and just driving yourself and coming in and filling and that sort of thing, but to do it any other way, it's not going to work quite the way we want it to. Now I can understand that a little bit with lime. Lime's quite a hungry product. By that I mean we will go through a lot of it. So seeds, fertilizer, even liquid fertilizer, probably not quite so much of an issue, and that you won't have to fill up quite so much, and using a conveyor like this will work out really well for us. So hence the reason for putting the other meridian bin down there, which is a lime buy point. We should be able to get this set up and running on that. So let's go and get things up and moving. We're going to go and record a new course. In fact, we'll use the other one because I know we can put some lime into it, and then we'll get these both up and running on some lime application. So I didn't actually plan it like this to be able to have a little bit of an offset. When I put the silo down, I didn't have auto drive up, so I didn't know our course already kind of went around the outside of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this as a side road, so that the only reason a vehicle should go through here is if they want to get to the trigger for this silo. So you come in here, where you've got everything turned on. A little help for people, you press that little question mark there. It gives you a few different options here. If I want to create a side road, I hold left shift down when I press record. So left shift and record, and you'll see that that little circle is yellow. Yellow is for a side road. So we should be able to just drive along here, get into a point where I know I can refill, and we're just going to hit R. Yep, got that in the right spot, and we're just going to carry on and get this finished off. Now, a little bit tricky here, because we are going to have two-way point. Now that's gone that way. I think we connect from there across to there. Should hopefully be able to get it going both ways, but at least that has now given us a side road in here. What we need to do, we need to add a label in here, or a name. So we're going to put a label in there. We're going to call this lime buy silo rather than just lime silo, so we can differentiate between the two. And we should now be able to refill from that. Just need to finish off the last little bit of the course down here. pressing left Alt at the same time, because that is a surefire way to delete your course. You press Shift and then let's change the whole lot. Let's see, go like that and that, Shift, and those two will make it the side road. Let's change the lot. Let's see if we can just get there. Let's be the one. There we go. Now we've just got the yellow on the one there. Next test is to be able to get it from here to a field. Now what I'm going to do, I'll jump here into the map. We're going to send this spreader up here to field 3. We're going to put the other one into field 10, so they can both work in separate fields at the same time. We're going to create our courseplay course from here before we go anywhere. So bring up courseplay, go to our course settings. Now we've got auto drive. You can see all the auto drive courses that are around the map. We come in here, we've gone to start job. I've turned off the auto drive just to make it a little bit clearer. Now we want to select our field. So our field position is, I got the wrong field. There we go. Clicked up the field. And our target position can be anywhere, but let's make it start just past the entrance point for the field, which I think is that spot there. I might not be quite right, but at least if it's this one, it's going to go into the field and then go and find that as our starting point. So we'll open our courseplay generator. We've only got one tool. We will go around the headlands 3 times. It's probably a little bit excessive, but from past experience with only 2 headland passes, the spreader was struggling to turn, particularly where we got close to the edge of the map. So that should be all good. There's nothing else that we really need to worry about. So let's generate a fieldwork course in there. Should be pretty straightforward. Hopefully, lots of long up and down runs. There you go. There are 3 headland passes and a whole lot of runs up and down. What we should be able to do now, if we exit out of there, we'll go through and create our field point. So we've got 2 things here. We want to set our target, which is our field. I believe it was field 2, field 3. Field 3 tracked away. We want to come back out and go to our line by silo to fill, and we want line. We want to put our courseplay on. So this is telling auto drive that when it gets to this point, field 3 tracked away, it will start the courseplay up, and we already have our course set up down here. When it finishes, it knows it needs to exit back out. It tracked away, it needs to come to the line by silo, and it needs to fill up with lime. So we're going to plan. Should be able to press this. We'll get to this point here, fill up to 100% with lime. Just wait a second as it gets in under there. Here we go. This is one of those nasty little bins with a funny trigger and no animation, but for what we're doing, it is just going to work out perfectly. Once it's full, we'll let it drive down to the field and follow it down there and hopefully see it start spreading. Once we're done there, we'll be able to set the other one up exactly the same. There we go. It's full. $3,000 worth of lime put in. Let's see. It'll make its way all the way down to field 3 and get started spreading. So we're heading into the field now on the field course. If I bring up the auto drive, you'll be able to see there's our track to wake point. And you can actually just see, turn that back off. See just up ahead of us here is our start point for our courseplay. So you can see the play button down here on courseplay has gone green. It is starting to run now on the courseplay course, not on auto drive. You can see nothing's green there. The courseplay is now controlling what the spreader is doing. It's getting to the first waypoint. Fortunately, we didn't actually have that set up on first waypoint, but it's knowing to go there. And we're going to plan. Turn that off. Should see it. But throw some lime out and start spreading. And there we go. So that is pretty much fully automated. We didn't even have to come down to the field to do it. If we had faith in it, we could have left it to run all on its own without worrying about whether it was going to get there and start. So that's working out exactly how I wanted it to. Right, let's head on back down to the yard. We'll go and grab the other spreader, the black one, and we'll get them started in the other field. And by then, we've probably had enough of me talking. We might go and see how everything else is going and whether we can just get a little bit of some action shots and put together a little bit of a clip before we touch base again. Alright, we're down here in the other one. We've gone and set up our course here on field number 10. We've got our auto drive set up for field number 10. Then on our courseplay option, set that to first waypoint, it already is, and we will press go on this, and without even getting into a spot where it was going to be able to drive out easily, it's already getting off to field number 10. So long as the auto drive network's complete, you could do this just about anywhere and reliably hope that everything's going to find its way where it's meant to be in the end. So I'm not even going to bother following that down. I'm feeling pretty confident that everything is going to go exactly as I hoped. So what we're going to do, we're going to jump out here at this truck on its way past, see if the grain cart here with the Flax has managed to unload, and see if we need to troubleshoot anything that's going on with this one. Just going to jump over here into the truck, have a look. No, it hasn't been over to unload yet. In fact, good timing actually, here it comes. So we'll be able to actually wait and observe, see exactly what this grain cart does when it gets here to unload, and whether the two hoppers is actually going to be a problem or not. Alright, moment of truth. Getting lined up on the edge of the truck very nicely. Let's see what's happening here. Nothing yet. Haven't opened up the auger. There we go. Right, well this is working out well so far. Get the front hopper fill first. Looks like it. Although the grain cart's getting incredibly close, but there we go. Filling up that one. Let's just wait and see what happens once that one's full. Will it drive forward? Fill up the back one or not? Speed and slowness suggests that maybe it will, so perhaps my fears have been allayed. Let's stop and pause. There we go. Look at that. There we go. Courseplay is able to unload into a dual hopper trailer. See this get full, and everyone will move on their way. Truck should move down to the silos, and the grain cart should carry on getting the combines unloaded. Perfect. Well, that fills me with a lot of confidence that we can leave things here, work on their own, and we can go and have a little fun capturing some footage with the drone. Well, just when I thought things were going well, we've come up here to these combines in the grain cart, and the grain cart was going around in circles. Not sure what the issue was there, it just couldn't quite get under the pipe of this lead combine, and as a result, no one's gone anywhere. We've been left with two combines sitting here, not doing anything, which is a little bit frustrating. So we'll get this unloaded. We'll press play again and make sure everything is going to carry on work as we hope it will. This combine emptied out, to get out of the way very quickly, allow them to turn back up on their line. There we go. In fact, we can probably just about unorthodoxly back up to the second combine, and we can get them unloaded at the same time. There we go. A little bit of that speed sync. Looks like we sync with the front combine, not the back one. Looks like they're getting back to their convoy, which is nice. There we go. Move ourselves over a little bit, and then once we've got this emptied, then we'll be able to hopefully turn on our auto drive, get them up and going properly again. Now I have, since our last time on this farm, I have considered changing the grain carts. A few comments was that the grain carts might be a little bit larger than you might see on this type of land. Maybe smaller grain carts, but more of them. So taking that into account, let's have to get ourselves off the header there. I have given that some consideration, and that might be something we look at doing in the future, making some changes, use the magnums or something like that to be able to do some of the work too. But for now, we're just going to stick with the grain carts we've got and keep things moving. Impressive view from up here. It's nice looking back down over the other side of the map, over the river. See the lined field there was one of the ones we harvested last time. In fact, if you pay close attention, you can see the John Deere combine still parked down there. They're all staged, they're ready to come over and tackle the small fields over here, but probably not today. We'll just concentrate on getting the vast majority of this work finished before we worry about getting them down here. But I think it looks about empty, or empty enough. So I'm going to come back in here, we will turn our auto drive back on and leave these guys to carry on. Hopefully no more dramas. So with that done, I did see one of the lime spreaders popped up to say it was empty. Hopefully it's heading back and getting filled up again, and they're going to head back off and carry on spreading. So time for the drone, put together a montage, and we'll see you in just a little bit. Well, just like that, these two have finished in the Flax, so I think we're going to have to get them to move on and start in the next field. Looks like actually we've still got the worker hired there. They probably need to try and empty their combine and can't get to it because of the other one in the way. So what we're going to do, we're going to try and use that same auto driving course plate trick that we used before to get these heading in the right direction. So let's jump in and see if we can get that up and going. So the beauty of doing it with these is we're using the swather courses which are already there, so we didn't have to create a course, we just have to load the one that was already created. So we've got that set up here. This one is going left using the first waypoint at tractor field 1 tractor weight. So press go there and let them carry on. Just jump out here and we'll see. We might even just go and hop in here and take this one off horseplay, and we'll go and empty out into the combine here ourselves and set them off and going. But they're using the it's like that combine is using the path around and going to head on over to the field on their own, which is good. I was just looking at our money actually, the lime's chewing through it. We're going to have to finance a little bit more money to be able to afford that, which is fine. There we go, that is empty. So put that there in, clear our course, go through and load our field 1 swather course, which is that one there. Back into this, bring up our auto drive, field 1 tractor weight, turn on the course play, first waypoint, this one needs to be right, and set that off. It's going to fold everything up and hopefully get everything back to where it needs to be. Now, last thing, this guy's probably not going to go anywhere because he's too full, not full enough, sorry, to empty out. So we'll jump in. We can drive this back over to the truck and go and empty out and move him into the next field as well, and we'll be happy. All under control, everything's moving, lime spreading's going well. See, obviously as the money's been going down, we've got the spreader, there it is over on the other side. The one we were riding along with, that has gone to fill up. We're not far away, there it is in fact. Oh, are we going to have a collision? No, managed to sneak past each other, which is even better. Very impressed. Right, let's go and get this emptied out and get set up in the next field. And there we are, we're getting the Flax into the back of the truck. Should just about be able to take this whole, well, we'll take the whole grain cart quite easily actually, looking at it. Probably not going to be enough for the auto drive to trigger and want to drive off, but we'll just wait and see. Up here and be done with it, and then we'll be able to send them off to field number 1 as well. But that's gone actually quite well. We'll be able to, once this truck goes and empties, we'll be able to actually see how much flax we harvested off this one field, which I'll actually be a little bit interested to see and find out. But because of combine, I wasn't expecting that to come past, and that explains actually why we didn't get a collision before, because I'm running around the outside on the course to try and find the edge of the field to get out on. So explains why there wasn't a collision, because the other combine wasn't actually in it. Anyhow, why they're going around twice, but it's fine, we'll let them do it. Let's put this on its way to field 1. What's happening now? I can see this other combine heading back to us, so I'm a little bit intrigued. Fingers crossed everything's going to work out as it should. It does rely on the course being set up properly, but field 1 tractor weight, let's just pull this out and actually put it on the track so it goes straight to it, and we're going to get things set up and going, get this truck emptied out. We've just advanced this on auto drive, so it will go and empty out 80% full. See, the swathers are finished there in the field. I'm umming and ahhing what we do with the other field there. I think what I might do is put a single swather in there, do a single swath course, and then we'll tackle it that way. Or the alternative, of course, is we're going to have a traffic jam because the combines are trying to go through where they can't fit. Right. Let's go and fix this. This is a little bit of a mess, and carry on, get things set up. Alright, that little debacle fixed. We've got our combines reaching the tractor weight point there, so hopefully they are going to get up and started. Everything should be going very soon. Let's get this truck unloaded. I'm just thinking we might need to edit out courses a little bit and maybe put a route where they can head on back down the ramp and through the middle of the yard rather than trying to get up here through the unload pit, because that's obviously not what it's made for. Not really ideal use of that space, but there we go. Let's see, one of the spreaders there has been back for a fill up. Let's head on up, and hopefully when we pop around the corner, here we go, there. They started? Not yet. Oh no, they're just getting unfolded now. And they have actually, look at that. Because we started the course down this end, I've had to hop into that spot. You can see, lead combine is up and going. Perfect! Happy days, I'm pleased that has all worked out now. Let's just try and figure out where we're going to put this truck to be able to unload and set this up on auto drive. In fact, we might let the combine get around and get the field opened up a little bit more in terms of getting these outside swaths out of the way. Because once that's done, we can then put the truck in the field. But the combine, actually the grain cart should come and unload to that anyhow on the edge of the field. We just leave it there, hopefully we'll be able to find it. But let's set these guys up as well. Turn the course plate on for them because that did seem to work pretty well last time. So we'll just hop in here, give them the correct field target, field position. Yeah, and we should be able to start job. And they'll do what they need to do. Perfect. Ideal. Absolutely ideal. Right. Leave them running and go and check out how everything else is going. So just checking in on the two spreaders. Field 3 here. The red spreader doing what it should be doing. It's just getting started again after we just saw it filling up. That's perfect. And without even having to jump into it, you can see the other spreader over there in the next field is just started up on another pass as well. So they look like they must be doing their up and down rows. They've finished the headlands and likewise we're well and truly into that. So we're just going to leave them running because they are doing exactly what they need to be doing and don't really need any help at all, which is good. And we'll go down and move one of the swathers, get that swather going and go and check the wheat field out. So headlands finished down here as well and well and truly into their lands. We had a little bit of an issue with the position of the grain cart sitting in its weight point blocking one of the combines, but we've sorted that out. Back underway, quite a way behind the lead combine, but that's probably not a bad thing. Hopefully once the lead combine, in fact, lead combine's putting its auger out now and calling the grain cart, which is heading on down to where it needs to be. So they may get a chance to catch up, but as long as they're sort of not too far behind and don't get overtaken, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. So that is all doing what it's meant to be doing and running pretty well. They don't actually, it's going to take them too much longer to get this field finished now that they've got the headlands all done and opened up. They should chew through that pretty quickly. And yeah, then it's really, once they're finished in here, I'm going to park up and wait until we get in to all of these lentils over the road. Got a huge amount in here where we really are going to have all 4 harvesters running in here and just really hopping through these fields. Should be fun. Right, let's go and get these swathers set up, get that last little field swath. Alright, here we go, swather up and going in this field. Like I said, we're just going to run the one of them, 3 headlands, and then in the up and down rows. So I think I might just sit in here and ride in and along with them. Actually, I've just noticed the truck got in and out of that field as well. We're heading back down there without any issues with the traffic. Fingers crossed it can carry on going. Love seeing trucks running up and down the road like that. Very cool. One of the great things about auto drive, in fact, I've really enjoyed the last hour or so as I've been jumping around between equipment, being able to look across the field and see everything that's been going on. You could see grain carts running to combines, you could see combines operating in the other field, you could see a truck moving up and down between silo and plant field, you could see spreaders running back and forth and getting some lime applied. So it's been a lot of fun actually. I've really enjoyed sort of the management and the observation side of things as we've been going. Even just now, looking over there right on the horizon, seeing one of the combines with the pickup header getting that flax harvested. Now, before we do actually jump into a little bit of a time lapse here with the swather, let's just see how much flax we ended up with off that first field. There we are, just over 108,000 litres, so not a huge amount, but not too bad all the same. We've got 630,000 litres of wheat, 560,000 litres of peas. Of course, the wheat is from our own, from both farms. In fact, the flax is from both farms as well. Harvested those, so just bear that in mind. We've got a little bit of a double up over those, although we didn't get too much off the other small fields over the other way. But just have a look in our time-saving stock check. Let's look at some of the potential value there. $320,000 worth of wheat so far, with more to come. $120,000 worth of flax. $430,000 worth of peas. So it'll be interesting to see where all these values sit once we're up and finished with everything that we've been harvesting. We have some lentils as well there. They didn't go up on the up in our silo. Of course they wouldn't have, because they're not in a silo. They're just in a normal silo. They will up on this one here. And there we go. Actually, that's a good way to be able to keep a track of what the two different farms did, because these are in the standalone freestanding silos. You can see the 57,000 litres of peas and 18,000 litres of lentils from over in the small farm. So we can keep track of that just a little bit. Anyhow, let's ride along here with the swather for a little bit and let them do their thing. Hopefully, by the time I've finished, the wheat might just about be done, and we'll be able to see how the swathers are going and the fertiliser spreaders are going. We are all finished here with the swathing as well, so that's gone well. I'm going to park this up. In fact, these can go back up into the yard now, because I'm pretty much finished with them. Going to give them a wash, park them up, and worry about them later. But I'm just looking over the other side there, because obviously one thing when you're sitting in the cab of a piece of equipment, you don't check the map, you don't know what's going on. But it looks like everything's running smoothly over there with the wheat. Haven't seen anything stationary, which is good. And, well, there's one of our fertiliser spreaders, lime spreaders, heading down with another load, which is great. My only question really will be what's happening either on the other lime spreader or over with the pickup headers, picking up the flax. So we'll pop over there and have a little bit of a look at their progress. And that answers our question on the other lime spreader. It's just coming down to get another top up. And as we bring the other swather down, there is the wheat truck as well. So obviously the wheat's getting emptied out. I can see a combine operating through the gap in the trees. There's a grain cart. So everything must be up and running just perfectly, which is awesome. This is I wouldn't say it's been trouble free, but it's certainly been a pretty fun operation to be running tonight. Had a lot of fun in the last couple of hours doing all of this. Alright, leave those there for now. I'm not going to be in the way of anything. We'll come back and give them a clean off later, but I do. For now, I want to go and see what's happening elsewhere. Alright, and there you can see the two pickup combines are just starting their land. So we've finished the headlands. I'll go up and have a look in the truck, but we've got 76%. I don't think the truck's going to be full, just based on the fact we only got 100,000 litres off the other field. I think the best option is, well, biggest likelihood is that it hasn't even put any in the back of the truck yet. No, it hasn't even had to empty out, so that's good. That means everything is just doing what it needs to be doing there for this one. So we'll leave them running some more. They don't need babysitting. Let's go and check out the wheat. Well, we've just been running along here for a minute or so, and I'm not sure what's going on. I'm starting to favour the Courseplay unloader much better than the auto drive one. It seems to want to turn in front of the combine all the time. Not quite what it's meant to be doing. At least things are still moving. There we go. So obviously decided it's got enough. But things are still moving, and this field's getting done. Spin around. Still a little bit left here, but not too much. So things are getting done, but not as smoothly as I would have hoped. So we might even consider, we're going to leave this one running as it is. Here comes the truck back down now and avoiding any problems with the traffic, which has completely surprised me. I thought we would have had a collision by now. So pleased to see, got it in and out of the field and the farm without having any issues with that traffic. As I was saying, I think we will leave the grain cart running as it is on auto drive. That will get this field finished, and we'll let that get done, and then we'll consider whether we use it on horseplay next time. And so the only other outstanding question is what was happening with the lime spreaders, and as predicted, they are doing exactly what they should be doing. There you go, you can just see the other one making an appearance up there as well in the distance. So yeah, again, easy going just perfectly. Not too much more left in this field, probably a couple more loads. I think they seem to be running out sort of every 2 passes, which is probably adding a little bit of time. It would be nice to have a auger wagon or something like that on the side of the field, but it's not too far down into the yard, and they can do this completely unsupervised, unattended. Then, well, we'll just leave them to it to get the job done, and things will be happy. And once they're done, we'll be able to get in here and start getting some fields cultivated and prepared for some seeding whenever that may come. Anyhow, I think this is going to be a perfect spot to wrap things up for this episode. It's been a lot of fun, like I've said a couple of times. I've really enjoyed sort of the management and that side of things. I know some people think using courseplay, auto drive, all of that's cheating. I think I've probably spent a grand sum of 5 minutes actually controlling a vehicle or any equipment tonight, so it certainly has been a big reliance on automation with the courseplay and auto drive. But you know, we're a big farming operation. We've got a lot of equipment. We're not going to be able to drive it all on our own, so we do have to leverage some of that and use that when we can. So next time, I think we'll probably be back here on the big farm a little bit more. We might see about getting the combines over from the small farm. We might go and have a look and maybe get some tillage up and running. I'm really looking forward to using that 2-track tractor we've got over there on some tillage. So we might go and do that. But otherwise, I don't think we've got too much more to do over on that side of the farm, and we've got plenty more to get done here. So we'll wait and see where we get taken and where we end up. Anyhow, hope you've enjoyed this episode here in Palouse, Washington, from the rolling hills. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.